How did you get to sort of moving into this line of work?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've gone like through the motions. So originally I started a fitness Instagram page. This was like way back in varsity in second year. So like 2017, end of 2016, beginning of 2017, I was like getting into videography and content, and like I was like, okay, how do I like marry it all together, as well as obviously fitness. And then I just started growing a page then, and I got some brands reach out to me and they wanted some help growing their Instagram. So then I started consulting, got a really awesome gig to work with a fragrance brand called The Mean. They're like exclusively to Selfridges fragrance brand in the UK. So did some consulting for them. They flew me over there during my like vac, during like June, July, which was epic. Like worked with them a bit, was helping them with like influencer marketing and like growing the brand that side. Then came back, did like a few of my own things, worked with like Gymshark and Daniel Wellington and all these like other little brands on these like more short-term content.
When was this? Like
deals.
what year was this?
It was like between 2017 through to 2019. I was like just working on like little independent things of like 3-month projects here, year project here, whatever, just creating content for them. And then come COVID, I actually started another agency, which was like a social media marketing agency. Did that through COVID. Like that was my first taste of like actual independence, you know, like start making at least enough money to like move out, get an apartment, like, you know, stay away from like kind of not stay away from your family, but like move out and kind of like take that leap. I ran that for a bit. And then after that, I actually decided like I wanted to get some experience working in a brand. So then I worked for Burn Studios for a bit, doing a little bit of social media there, creative, like helping with the creative direction of shoots, growing the influencer marketing side of things. And then while I was at that job, I got headhunted by a marketing agency. And then that was like when I got true taste of like performance marketing. So like scaling e-com brands across the world. And I got to a point where I'd scaled one of my clients to like 6 million euros a month.
Goodness.
And at that point I was like, okay, I know how to do this thing. Like, let me actually go back and take the leap to running my own thing. And basically just took all the skills that I'd learned, started my e-commerce growth marketing from there. It's just kind of snowballed. We've grown our team. We're currently at like 8 people now, servicing 20 clients, and hoping to kind of continue growing that and snowballing that.
So you actually basically essentially just followed sort of what you were interested in back in high school, in the fitness page, all of 100%. That, and sort of snowballed into what you're doing right now.
100%.
So it was just following your interest essentially.
100%. I always say like it's the best thing you can do is just follow like your curiosity. It's like if something interests you and like you want to explore it, like take a deep dive and go for it. You know, like I think I was very blessed and lucky that I had my degree as like a fallback. So I was studying, but to be honest, like I like, if I could have not done my degree, that would have been awesome. But like my family were obviously like, you know, just do it, like just so you have got a fallback. And I think if your family have offers to do that for you, I think it's an incredible gift.
I'm in the same boat,
Decided to take it on, and I mean, like I learned a lot through the process, and I think it actually showed me more of like, okay, this can kind of be your life, or like you could have, it gave me that contrast to like see it for the first time of like entrepreneurship versus following the traditional path.
So if you enjoy this conversation and you relate with the health and wealth aspect, and you know both of these are very important when it comes to scaling a business or just as an entrepreneur in general, top link in the description if you want a more personalized approach, to scaling a business or in the health aspect as well. And also in the description is access to our free community where we've got 20 hours of content that you can just consume.
100%. If you enjoy this conversation, share it to a friend. Maybe think about subscribing, put the notifications on. It helps the channel a lot. And by doing so, we can get some more interesting guests like this. So let's get back to the video.
I mean, at varsity, like I did well enough that I never failed. I think I failed 1 or 2 modules, but I finished within my 3 years. But that I could still pursue stuff on the outside.
What do you study?
I studied a BCom in marketing actually, but it was one of those things, bro. Like I remember we were in a lecture the one time and they started talking about influencer marketing, which is something I was like literally being paid to teach. I would not to teach, but to do for brands out there. And the lecturer gets up and he's like, every time Kim Kardashian posts, she gets like $40,000, and I'm like, it's not really like that. Like you've got to broker a deal with a brand, and then it's about like, what does that deal look like?
It's not applicable to them also.
100%. It's like, otherwise they just sit there all day just posting shit on their feed. Like, Instagram isn't paying them. So I just I think I realized I'm like, a lot of these guys who are like said gurus, and I think you probably see it in the online space as well. It's like these like said gurus, which in a university context is your lecturer, like with this complete misinformation, and you start to realize like, okay, wow, like the people who are supposed to know how this is done don't at all. And that's, I think, when I realized, I'm like, okay, like I kind of want to just like blaze my own path and pursue that.
I think one of the biggest wealth transfers in history is happening right now.
Yeah,
for sure.
Where all of the knowledge and the real estate and the IP, like all of that is going to the young people because social media and all this is booming, and the younger people are ultimately the ones who know how to do this.
For sure.
So like the older guys are now like, oh shit, I need to give this money on now all to the young people because they know what they're doing when it comes to influencer marketing, social media, advertising, all of this. Like, did you see the meme of like the boat guy? The like Spar or something.
Bro, even like, what's that? Otaniqua Spa, bro. Just doing like
been on fire. Like whoever they've bought on. Like I've been watching their stuff for a long time.
Me too, bro.
And it's just viral hit after viral hit. Like whoever's there understands the platform, right? So
it's probably a young person.
Of course.
And it's also like you brought up a good point. You know, it's like. You tend to just believe that when you go to university and you look at these lectures, they know what they're talking about. But it's like the online, like I should say, like not consulting, but like info space is very frowned upon. And there's to an extent, like I know there's reason for that, but I think to a large degree, I think it's doing much better than what it's doing. Like, I mean, most of my success I want to attribute to the people that I learned from online. You know?
Sure.
And if you just have to compare those two, why would you want to learn a degree from a person that has never started a business? You know,
literally.
I learned my business information and all the knowledge that I have from a person that runs a business right now. Exactly what I want to run as well. So he's already achieved everything I wanted to, and he's essentially, I'm paying him money to give me back time, which is to for 10th the price as well, and I just don't get a piece of paper, but I got the knowledge. I got a business now. Actually, it's actually running, which I'm learning a lot more from. And what I want to ask you as well is where did you learn all these skills? You know,
online,
like you didn't study or like anything.
Online. Like obviously you pick up some stuff in your marketing course, like your very basic, your Porter's 5 forces and shit that you don't ever actually use, but like it's like obviously I think my degree definitely. I don't know if it was my degree or like just the way it was, but it like that experience gave me a perception just to view certain things through that. When I learned how to actually implement it, it was a lot easier for me. So that like I think that my degree definitely to a point, whether it was a perceptual change or whatever it was, definitely opened me up a little bit more than like other guys I'd met who hadn't gone through the same experience that I'd gone through, but had used like similar online tools to me. But yeah, like purely like. I started actually, funny enough, like I think the first time I got a taste of how online could potentially educate me was like with the fitness stuff. So following like your Christian Guzmans, your Adi Gillespie's, all these like fitness influencers at the time.
Calisthenics guys.
100%, bro. Like on Instagram, on YouTube, and all the like workouts they would post. And like I'd start with that, and then when my curiosity changed, because I'd had that point of reference, immediately it was like, okay, I don't want to learn how to run ads. Let me go look at YouTube or like.
Oh, that's so good,
And then actually like funny enough, it's like been very full circle because I mentioned like I'm now working in Iman Ghazi's ecosystem as a coach for one of their programs, and he was actually the first course I ever purchased. It was like
that Navigator
SMMA or something.
Oh, that was like the first one.
Way before like agency incubator and stuff was actually the first one. I actually bought one just before that, which was he had a course called Influencer Ignited, which was his first ever course. And then it became 6-figure SMA that I like moved on to.
He's been doing courses for a while now.
Wow. Bro, since this is like 2017, 2018 is when originally it's been a while.
So that was like in the time that he was still running his agency.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. So he like I actually met him way back in 2017. I was in the UK for that fragrance brand, and he'd actually encouraged me way back then. Like we'd chatted on Instagram a few times, and he was like, "Bro, go hard on personal brand. Like it's something you should do it."
Wow.
So he's had this vision for like years, which is sick to see. But yeah, bro, he was just like, go hard on your personal brand. Like if you're into fitness, try and build something, see what it's like. And then we met up when we were in the UK, and I think it was when he had just dropped out of high school. And he was like kind of trailblazing, and it was like it's super sick to see that versus like where he is now. But yeah, bro, like online has been the place like I've learned any actionable like way of actually building a business has been that. Because I think going back to what you guys are saying, like I remember I had an entrepreneurship lecture, like a doctorate in entrepreneurship.
What is that? Who gives you that, bro? What is that even?
Never run a business.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, so does Jeff Bezos get one? How do we sort this thing out?
Is it like revenue based? You know, it's like at a certain point.
Literally, like it's insane. It's like, well, okay, cool, because you did a paper and you drew a business plan. Now you're a doctorate. Like it's like. It doesn't actually translate to anything because like by its nature, like it's not, entrepreneurship isn't that. Like it's, I don't know, it's just so backwards. Like, so yeah, it's like getting a marathon medal for not even like running the race.
Yeah, for really knowing the route. Yeah, knowing the route and the form.
Yeah. Or not even finishing the race. It's just like you put your shoes on and you showed up at the start line. Like,